Hello and welcome to Breaking Bread with Rivaj Maharaj, where nothing is off the table. For today's episode, I wanted to talk about the current meningitis epidemic that is spreading throughout the UK. So, without further ado, let's get into it. There's a meningitis outbreak that is currently doing its rounds in the UK, and I've come across an article in The Guardian which I'm going to briefly go through. The article says, what is behind the UK's meningitis outbreak and how serious is it? Cases of men B linked to Canterbury nightclub have risen to 20, with 2 deaths as expert warn of explosive outbreak. Meningitis infections in a county in the southeast of England continue to increase, with 5 new cases confirmed on Wednesday in what experts have said is one of the fastest growing outbreaks of the disease they have seen in the UK. What happened and where? On 15th March, the UK Health Security Agency, a public health body, issued a public health alert confirming 2 people had died during an outbreak of meningitis. It had occurred in and around Canterbury, in a city of about 60,000 people in the county of Kent near London. Health officials later confirmed the strain involved was meningitis B or Men B. How many people were affected? As of March 17th, the UKHSA said there were 20 cases of invasive meningococcal disease. This has steadily grown from an initial assessment of 11 cases and includes 2 people who have died. Where did the outbreak originate? Health officials believe all the initial cases are linked to a wave among people who attended Club Chemistry, a nightclub in Canterbury, on 5th, 6th, or 7th March. The club has since closed voluntarily. Who died? One of the victims has been named as 18-year-old Juliet Kenny, who was studying for her A-levels, academic qualifications for students aged 16 to 18 in the UK at college or school. The head teacher of Queen Elizabeth's Grammar School in Faversham, a town 10 miles from Canterbury, said Kenny was incredibly kind, thoughtful, and intelligent, and she loved our school and was very happy here. The other person who died, has yet to be named, was a student at the University of Kent. What has the response been? The UKSA started a full-scale response on 15th March, including preparations for distribution of antibiotics on the university campus. Those who were at Club Chemistry on the dates identified have been urged to come forward for antibiotics. On 17 March, the UKHSA announced a targeted vaccination program against Men B for students living in halls of residence at the University of Kent. It says the program could be expanded later. Are meningitis outbreaks common in the UK? The UKHSA Chief Executive Susan Hopkins said the number of cases in such a short space of time was unprecedented and called the outbreak explosive. Wes Streeting, the UK Government Health Secretary who oversees health and social care in England, said, "What's worried us about the Canterbury outbreak is the pace and extent of the spread of the disease." According to the UKHSA, there were 378 cases of invasive meningococcal disease in 2024 to 2025, of which 80%, 313 cases, were Men B. Is there a meningitis vaccination program in the UK? Since 2015, the Men B vaccine has been offered to babies at 8 weeks, with a second dose at 12 weeks and a booster at 1 year. Other routine childhood jabs, including the 6 and 1 and pneumococcal vaccines, can protect against meningitis. The MenACWY vaccine, which covers 4 other meningococcal groups, is offered to teenagers in school years 9 and 10 and can be given until the age of 25. But teenagers born before 2015 are unvaccinated against Men B. Despite Men B accounting for 80% of cases of invasive meningococcal disease until now, the UK Joint Committee on Vaccines and Immunization, JCVI, a body that advises the UK government, has not deemed Men B vaccination to be cost effective for teenagers, as it does not prevent the bacteria from spreading from one person to another. It does not target all the different B bacteria strains and does not protect for a long duration. Streeting announced that he had asked the JCVI to re-examine eligibility for meningitis vaccines. He said he was doing this without prejudicing their decision. Now, you'll forgive me if what I'm going to say may not align with your views. However, this sounds eerily similar to the way in which COVID originally crept onto the world stage. And when I look at the Iran conflict, when I look at the Epstein files being released and the effect it's having on the UK government, Keir Starmer and Mandelson, and, the possible threesome between a prime minister, British prime minister, and Jeffrey Epstein and one of the, I think it was Ghislaine Maxwell. You've got all these explosive details coming out, and there has to be, you know, this government is basically clinging on to power. Now, I'm not saying that this is done deliberately. However, what I'm trying to say is that it's, this sounds eerily similar to what happened prior, in the run up to COVID and the lockdowns and, the vaccine programs. And it's almost like deja vu. So, whilst meningitis may be a threat and, people's lives may be at risk, I fear that the manner in which this is being portrayed in the media, it's eerily similar to COVID. And what happens as well is you have social media, Facebook X posts that amplify it. The paranoia sets in, and things just take on a life of their own. So we're going to keep a close eye on this, and we'll keep you updated. I want to thank you for spending time with us. We look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, as it helps us with the algorithm and it helps our channel to grow.